Welcome back to another episode of a 1967 Mark 1 with my dad. What we've just done is we've taken the engine out of the subframe because we want to try and bolt the subframe into the car to help us try and sort of help start aligning the front and double check things, because again you can't really put the front panel on the car without really sort of having the subframe on there. You know, it can be possible. So basically I've got to go through a box of bits now, try and look for the bolts and spacers that he says he's got somewhere, or we're not too sure if it even came with spaces. I know it's supposed to come with spaces in between the subframe and the thing, but we don't know. You know, the trouble with history of cars is they get lost. So I'll go through the box of bits. We've unloaded the 1275 engine as well. It's like a graveyard of 1275 engines. Well, not 1275, that's an 850. Yeah, snakes. Oh, jeez. Let's see if we can fit the subframe. Subframe in car. Got subframe in after 3 or 4 attempts.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
You know, that side is perfect. This
side. And this floor's just up because it's just...
it's bent.
There's nothing left of it. So.
No. And that's a bit of the hill board there, so it just wants tapping down to the subframe.
Yeah.
Because it's bent.
But yeah, that's flush to the bulkhead anyway, so it's not going to come back up anymore.
That one lines up. Like.
Yeah. You could pop another bolt through there.
Yeah.
As I said, those Magnum ones, where that cutout is all a bit weird anyway.
You know what?
Yeah, try a wing on. So we just bolted the front end on, just on a temporary.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Blind man like to see that.
Yeah. That's what we call professionals, Dad. That's professional level, that.
That will just push it. That, yeah. Perfect. And this is stretched to there, I think.
Yes, before anyone says they're MPI headlight holes, but go away. Yeah, that's looking good, Dad. Nearly as good as my one. Seems a little...
Right, let's see what happens when I squeeze this to the A panel. See, it's about 3/8 here. Which means this is not... Can you hold that?
Yeah.
Oh, I see, that's just coming in.
Yeah.
That pushes in.
Yeah. Which you got in the watch because it then makes a V, you know, it pulls in too much. Yeah, I've had that one.
There should be a little piece of angle there.
Go, yeah, a little bit too far.
No, that's fine.
But yeah, this is where you watch. Yeah, it then can be careful. It sort of pulls in and makes a valley.
No, that's that.
Out.
Yeah. And that will pull in, won't it? Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'll put in. That's not a problem.
Yeah. And that'll pull up to there.
Well, that's looking alright. That's looking good. For the amount of what's been chopped out of there.
Yeah. We got the flooring before I trimmed it, if you know what I mean.
Oh, okay,
it's a lot bigger than what it is.
Yeah, the floors.
Floors.
A lot of extra metal on those floors.
Yeah. Or you could have done with some extra metal down here, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just to curve it up and just fill the hole.
Yeah, there's always not the extra metal where you need it.
Right, so if we drilled some holes through then.
Yeah, look. That's my dad's foreskin. Oh, look at that. Back on the spit. We can whoa. Oh,
What was that?
don't know.
Take all this stuff out.
Yeah. You know what you must always never do is leave something in the car so it dents the roof, Dad. Yeah?
Yeah.
Because, yeah. when you roll it over, bang, it falls on the roof. And you've got a book in the back as well, how to build a Mini 101. So that's it, subframe's back in, so that's good. Yeah. Just we looked it up actually. This is a hydro frame. We don't have spaces in between at all, between the towers and the bulkhead. We researched that, and somebody on Mk1 group said that as well. So yeah, hydroelastics do not have spaces at all. Well, obviously this dry setup does have little solid spaces. You learn something new every day. So that's another panel we need, isn't it?
I haven't got that one.
So we need to. We'll list up some part numbers later.
Magnum part that was.
Yeah.
So
it worked all right, didn't it?
And they're going to make sure that's right.
Yeah. And then the rest is up to you to try and get,
Yeah. It's crude, very crude, really. Some of it's good, but a lot of it's crude. That goes in there with a countersunk head on it, rivet. Yeah, so it's nearly flush. But this is just peened over, but this is broken out here.
Okay.
So it's all
starts wobbling.
It's all wobbling. So, but what I might do is make up a new pin
with a bigger
with a bit longer pin, then put on there, drill and tap through, and put a little plate on there with some very small countersunk.
Yeah.
A steel plate, and you just might have to slot the end of the hole a bit bigger to let it go through. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's and do make it the same, but just put a 1/16 thick steel plate on there.
So the other stuff is all C's, is that sort of? Oh, you're still.
But no, this is all free now. I've got it all working. It's all.
And then we just need.
Yeah. This one was all right, you see.
It's the same principle. It looks.
Yeah, but I've just peened it over a bit more because that was a bit loose, but it's not too bad. And in there's a rubber. No, in there. Yeah, it's all missing, wasn't it? There's a rubber bush. Yeah. There's a rubber bush in there, and what I've done, I've modified. I had to file this out just a little bit. I took the old bit out, filed it out a little bit bigger, and pressed in a back of the gearbox on the rod linkage. You got a little rubber bush that goes in the.
Yeah, to stop it leaking. Yeah.
No. Oh. You know the tie bar that comes back. Yeah. You got a rubber bush in the gearbox.
Okay.
I had a brand new one of those.
Yeah.
So I pressed that in, then just cut the ends of it down because it's a bit too long. Just cut it down a bit, and it's all gone in.
Cool.
So that's time that's tightened up. With a nut on there. Oh, I've just got. I think I'll make a. Let's see. I've got to make a bush to go through there because there's a nut missing from there. That's what I've got to do.
Oh, okay.
Because the hole in the middle is. That's the rubber bush.
Yeah.
And I've cut the outside down on that side. And cut the length down on this because it's too long.
Yeah.
But this
is
I've just got to put another bush in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
To reduce that plate. Yeah.
Cool.
So that's now I've got that proper rubber bush in there.
Yeah.
So that's all.
That's all ready to then. Yeah. Link up with.
Yeah. So it's just got to do that then.
Right, we just spot welded along the door and the sill. That's not coming off now. Looking good.
See if you can get in there.
getting some welds down the spot welds down the inner wing. I'm talking to YouTube, Dad, so Dad's doing all the hard graft and I'm doing the spot welding. So we're getting close to the end of the day now. Sun going down. But yeah, car's looking good, Dad. Scarily, you're catching me out, which is not good. I did think we might even get to the point next year where you got both the bloody cars sitting next to each other for a photo before we get rid of one of them. Can't have two of them. Jenny will kill me. I'll keep one or both.
But you don't know what this one's.
Huh?
You don't know the stage of this one.
She sort of knows you're working on it, but yeah. Well, we're pretty much done for the day. But just talking to my dad about these clips and my clips and the ones on mine. I just realised, I've only just realised that these extra long tabs in the middle, which I thought were always useless for what they're there for. My dad said that's where the hydrolastic pipe ran along. So that's why they're always there. So even on the later minis, they're still just a flat tab like that. I'm sure they are, especially the jet black was. So even to the 80s, they were still putting them on there. But yeah, obviously they were just used. Yeah, so the brake pipe or the fuel pipe went one bit, and the hydrolastic pipe went in the other bit. But obviously, just never used after that. So yeah, we're calling it a day now. So we're just looking at this last side, just to have a look, see what's whereabouts to join it and stuff. I think we've decided, and Dad can just get on with it.
Yeah, we're looking at and then come across and then.
Yeah, you can hide it underneath those straps, or you know. Yeah. So yeah, the other side we've joined basically just on top of the battery cable. So looks all pretty good and neat there. Obviously, again, the bolts and screws are only there just for temporary placement. But yeah, looking good, Dad.